I feel so unsure as you take my hand and lead you to the dance floor. As the music dies, something in your eyes calls to mind a silver screen and all its sad goodbyes. I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm, though it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool.
I should've known better than to cheat a friend and waste the chance that I've been given. So I'm never gonna dance again the way I dance with you. Oh, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha. Whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha. Take it, Jay.
Wah-ha, 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 wah-ha,
Yeah.
Baby, it's better this way. We got each other with the things we want to say. Could have been so good together. Could have been this dance.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It is Jade and XD. I'm your host, XD, aka The Bitch is Back. The bitch is black. Believe that.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
Jade,
about to show you where that's from.
aka beige, fluorescent beige, bitch. I'm black.
So there's a famous promo with this black wrestler named Jazz. And
Like a bitch named Jazz. I ain't gonna hold you.
yeah, she's a good time. So I need to find it. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Submit. Okay, there we go. Yeah. The bitch is black and the bitch is back and the bitch is black. Believe that.
A tagline.
I send it to you.
Before we begin, hold on, let me look at this nigga shit that XD sent.
The bitch is back and the bitch is black.
Yes.
Believe
Believe.
it.
Believe that.
Before we carry on with this episode and properly introduce it, I would just, I would just like to say y'all are some disloyal assholes. You know what I'm saying? A bitch leaves. The bitch is back and the bitch is black. A bitch leaves for one motherfucking episode. And niggas is like, oh yeah, change that shit to Tay and XD. Y'all ain't no better than your Caucasian employers and those who run this place. Y'all niggas, you little niggas, you dirty, disloyal motherfuckers. Tried to get me off this. You trying to get me off this motherfucker. That's what you trying to do. You trying to take food out my baby's mouth is what y'all trying to do. And you want to replace me with Asante? I go in the friend zone. Ain't nobody saying, put Jade on the shit. Y'all don't want me to have a job? They said they're sick of me and they hate me is what they said. They said, in the words of my niece in Houston, because our sis Nikki came up here to do our makeup for this production. And she was here with us all week. And so my niece says, I want to go to New York with you. Sometimes she calls it U-Nork. I want to go to U-Nork with you.
Aww.
And she's like, well, mommy has to go work. She didn't tell her mommy has to go work with the auntie. She just said, mommy has to go work. She said, everybody in U-Nork hates me. And so I would just like to say, everybody in this motherfucker hates me. And I hate you. Everybody hates Jay.
Jade is the nigger of the
Jade
world.
is the nigger of the world. Beige, fluorescent beige, bitch. I'm black.
Jade is the most disrespected in the world.
Do you feel like Jade is the most disrespected species on this planet?
What you think about that?
What you think about that? How you feel when he took your car?
Well,
Yeah.
it's good to have you back.
I'm glad somebody likes to have me back. Thank you. Black ass niggas.
Yes, but thank you to Asante for holding us down.
Absolutely.
Last week.
Thank you, Asante.
He was doing glamazon things.
You can, yeah, I was, but Asante came
and
through
really,
and did the
really
work.
important things.
Asante came on and y'all made a post show. I said, well, niggas, no, I'm not doing. Maybe that's why. You know what I'm saying? I'm the employee show up half-assed. You know what I'm saying? Asante came through like the overachieving bitch, and it's like, oh no, we've got to figure out how to get the temp in this position because. No, shout out to our brother for holding it down.
Yeah, thank you for Asante for holding it down again. Go check out last week's episode. We had a good time, pre, main, and post show. Also, Jade still came in to do Love After Lockup over on Patreon, so go check it
You
out.
can catch me in drag. Tristan thought that was the funniest fucking shit in the world because you know he's like the makeup is nice, but like you don't need it or whatever. And I'm that's nice. I'm like that's sweet. So I said XD told me that I came through in drag, and that nigga screamed. That nigga. He said, "Hey, you are in drag." I was like, "Fuck y'all."
Listen, anytime you put on a full beat and a lash, that's drag.
It's true.
Makeup. No, it's drag.
It's drag. It's
Because you have to have.
Fuck a beat.
You assume a different type of personality when you all dolled up. You know what I mean? And it happens to everybody, even niggas when they get a fresh haircut. They assume a whole new persona.
They walk different. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Niggas
It's
strut
drag.
different. He comes in the house and be offended if you don't notice they got a haircut. Okay, let's be okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's drag. It's drag, baby. It ain't okay. We're all born naked, and the rest is drag.
It's drag for real, for real. Wow, we had a time last week.
Yeah, we did.
If you did not know, if you go sign up for our Patreon, we talked about our past weekend. Here we could talk about it briefly. I was in New York for the weekend.
Snuck up on your girl.
We were, because Crystal held a Legends Ball in her honor. And for,
It's just so funny every time you say it.
because it was like every icon, legend, everybody
was.
just every favorite podcast. I know you guys all talk about the Super Friends, but every one of us was there.
No, I said it. I said it on the
had-
Patreon. I said she created her own episode of This Is Your Life. She had high school in the building, college in the building, New York friends in the building. These like everybody. It was everybody from her life in her circle.
Yeah. It was every podcaster, every friend. Well, we're all friends, so it wasn't even like that. So it was a really good time. It was good to be in New York for all 36 hours. I was surprised. Normally, when niggas go to places and they just be like, well, I'm going to move here,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I was like, this is nice.
And I'm ready to go home. Yeah, I want to go home.
Yeah, I think I would just love all this a lot if all my friends were here or in a closer vicinity. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not going to wish, LA on anybody. Not to say that it's bad, but, it's not everybody's cup of tea,
Yeah, I feel you.
That's like, I'm trying to not force things upon people. When people are like, move to the South, it's cheap and blah, blah, blah. No. Do what works for you because people lie about what they got going on. So do what works for you.
Because when I went to Atlanta, they was trying to get my ass. They was like, See, your parents moved here, and your cousin moved here, and Tristan's cousin moved there. Like a bunch of our family did move to Atlanta, and we went down and visited. And they're like, "See, we having a good time." Tristan's cousin caught FaceTime me the other day. Him and my cousin is at the bar, drinking and eating and watching TV.
That's so like
Right? Tristan's cousin gonna text me and say, tell your dad to respond to my text message. I invite him to watch the game. Like, they've created this little unit, which I think is beautiful. But we go down and visit, and they're like, "Don't y'all want to come here? Look at the space. Oh, wow, 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 wow."
No.
And I'm like, so listen, I love Atlanta. I love the blackness of Atlanta. I love the black utopia of Atlanta. I love the fact that I can get rural, urban, city. I love that I can get all of that. Atlanta is still in Georgia. I am raising a child with a vagina. End of sentence.
Yeah. Period. Like, I don't, like, yeah. That's even in California, too. Outside of coastal towns, everything is Arkansas here. So don't be disillusioned by, location changes. You know what I mean? But no, that's a valid thing. You got to worry about a daughter, and you got to worry about, not even just your daughter, but you and your family in general. It's just black people.
Right. Like,
I
Georgia is Georgia. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, in my eyes, and there's just a line that I won't go below, and that's the Mason-Dixon. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the kitchen table talk.
We bring a kitchen table talk to Jaden XD.
It just means it's the meat of the show.
We should do I have an idea for the next sketch show.
Okay.
I want us to do the red table talk.
Oh. Can I be Gammy? Or do I need to be Willow?
You could. I mean, it's the regular cast members, but I can't tell you who's at the table.
So, I also have an idea that we should do a Getting Grown Jaden like skit, and it's Black Swan reminiscent, very White Roots this week. Make sure you all check out the Patreon for that. We are breaking down White Roots. We did the first episode on YouTube. And the second episode is, the remaining episodes will be on Patreon. So we will be recapping White Roots this season. But like when I do the Jaden XD, I'm the Black Swan. But when I do the Getting Grown Swans, I'm the White Swan. Yeah.
It's definitely a dichotomy of good and evil between shows.
It is. It's a range. You know what I'm saying? It just shows my multifacetedness.
Yeah, it's real bright. Y'all do graduation shout outs and positivity and, black girl love. And here it's just destruction, chaos, and mayhem.
It is. Yeah. It's Gilead. Yeah. It's Gilead in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this
with
is
black people.
Oh, so it's Detroit. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Copy.
Yeah. But yeah, this weekend we were celebrating Crystal's 40th.
Yes.
We had a wonderful time. To hear more about it, check out the page.
Wow.
$9.99.
Wow. That's what we're doing now. Oh.
The page.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. You lucky I didn't hit you with Kend today, because I was like,
you haven't done that.
Cool
I
Kend.
thought we resolved that.
I'm bringing it back.
Damn.
Listen, we had a cool Kend. It was litty. Yeah, Noah had a performance this weekend. It was a really good time. She showed out all the other girls. Then they had other girls perform there, which
okay, all right.
Watching other people. No, I'm not gonna go.
Oh, no,
I'm not gonna say what you think.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, I was about to stand little girl from
Beyonce.
Bengalese.
Bangladeshi.
Bengali.
They were
Bangladeshi. There we go.
Yes.
They were Bangladeshi. So they had this group of Bangladeshi dancers, these cute kids. They were no more than 8,
Yeah,
If that. No, they're way younger than that.
Some of them
They
might have
were
been 5. I
kindergarten,
think the
first
oldest
grade.
one might have been 7 or 8.
Right. So this little girl, like, they was all like cute or whatever, and we thought it was one that was going to be the main one, but no, this other little girl came late.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell you, first of all, carried the whole squad on her back.
I mean, okay, what did Shari say? It was me, Shari, XD.
Whole
Shari gonna
squad.
go, okay, we got Beyonce, Kelly, and 2 Michelles over there.
Yeah.
Because Beyonce came in, and when I tell you, Mama literally, like, you know, her mom did this, the scurry up, the mom scurry up, like, we late, and y'all are literally starting right now. So she did the scurry up and hurried up and jumped into position. And as soon as that, they got about 15 seconds of that dance, and we was like, oh, they needed her. They had to wait for her to arrive. Like, they needed her for the
They had to wait for
performance.
her.
Mama came through with looks, costuming, you know what I'm saying, and moves and energy.
Because kids are very much like, either I'm committing to this full ass,
Yeah.
or fuck
Or
you.
not at all.
And Mama was committed. She was the Debbie Allen. She was the Twyla Tharp. She was the what's the dancing lady that was on the Cosby Show that played what's her face's that plays Heathcliff's mama.
Oh,
She was
yes,
like a
yes,
real
yes, yes,
classy
yes, yes,
dancer.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at her
Or
coif
Claire's
and everything.
mama.
Yeah, I'm looking at her
Claire's
coif
mama.
and everything, and but yes.
Judah Jameson.
Thank you.
Judith Jameson.
Yes.
Cry. Did I know it was dedicated to all black women, especially our mothers, when I did it? No, he didn't tell me all that. He choreographed it. He choreographed it in about 8 days. The last section was done at the
Oh God, we are horrible black people.
I know, because I kept thinking Alvin Ailey in my head. I said, that ain't right.
Wrong girl.
Right, wrong auntie.
Right. But yes, it was a good time this weekend had by all.
Yes.
So with that being said, thank you for listening each and every week. We totally appreciate you. But always tell a friend that we are available anywhere that you get your podcast except for SoundCloud. You can also subscribe to us on Patreon for $9.99 a month. It is where the true mess lives. It's where you get multiple hours of content. We do video recaps of your favorite shows such as Love After Lockup, Live After Lockup,
White Roots,
Handmaid's Tale, which we call White Roots. You know,
and more to come.
Some other things, and Serial, which we talk about this week with their most recent updates.
We doing the work.
Yeah, with free Adnan campaign and stuff. And it's just a good time over there. We're messy. So $9.99.
In the best way.
Also, subscribe to us on YouTube. It's for free. You should still do that anyway. We have good times over there. We do post some of our recaps over there, like the very first episode of our recap of this season of White Roots.
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale. It is available for free. We'll do some other subsequent stuff over there coming soon. Also, make sure you rate us 5 stars and leave us a nice review. Shout out to our home girl. I don't know what your name is. I'm not going to put you out on the internet, but I will say that, you know, you go get dragged for us to stop doing the whoa ha ha. So I'm just saying, if you,
she said stop doing.
They said it's giving cringe.
Oh,
yeah. But which is so interesting because we had I was like, we'll probably end up doing a whole episode of whoa ha ha's just to troll.
Absolutely.
But that's because we love. That's just who we are.
That's how
as
we
a
love
people.
as a-
So you should
yeah.
know that was gonna come.
yeah.
So look out for that. But thank you for the 5 stars either way, because she did leave us 5. They did leave us 5 stars. They said, "I love y'all, but niggas leave that behind." I was like, "How can we leave history behind?"
Right. No, we've got to bring it with us, or we'll forget it.
Okay. You got to remind
Just
niggas
press
of where
the
we
little
came
30
from.
seconds at the intro of the show if you don't want to hear the one.
Yeah. Fast forward the first 3 minutes because the first 2 is commercials. And then the next minute, and and you're free to go.
There you go.
But now I'm going to sing "Whoa Ha Ha" throughout the episode.
Oh,
so you
baby, what do you mean? It's coming at random.
Also, is there any more Jade's pants on
Yes,
sale
there
that
are
people
still
can
pants
get?
available. Make sure you sign up for the to be notified when there are restocks, because there will be restocks of some of your favorite colors coming soon. We just have to remember that this is an artisan line, and so each pair of pants is handmade as they are ordered. So, there's a 2 to 4 week processing time. We're going to restock new pants, and we got a new color drop, okay, in the building. So make sure you all check that out. You can check everything out at jadeofalljades.com, and also on my social media, everything is under Jade of All Jades.
Yeah. Also, Delo was back again for a little bit. So if you didn't get a chance to get you a bottle, go get one now. I can't tell you how long it's gonna be there, but go get one now.
Go get it
It's
while
back.
you can. It smells good.
If you can find it in our link tree, which you should be looking at anyway. It's in our Jade and XD link tree. It's in my socials, but you can go check it out and get you a bottle or two, especially for the holidays. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we need to announce before we go? No, that's it.
Well, haha. All right, well, let's take a break, and we will come back with more show.
Yeah. Whoa, ha, 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 ha. Whoa, ha, whoa, ha.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This week's partner has a product I literally use every day. I started taking AG1 because I hate taking vitamins and I wanted to see what the hype was about. So, I started taking them, and it's been a few weeks and I love it. It's now part of my morning routine. So what is it, you ask? Now, with one delicious scoop of AG1, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source ingredients, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. All the things. And it tastes a little sweet, and it's not too overpowering, so I'm able to drink it first thing in the morning for my digestion issues. And it's been great. It also supports better sleep quality and recovery, as well as mental clarity and alertness, which is something we all could use. Best thing about it is that it costs you less than $3 a day. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/JXD. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/JXD to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. So we're black. And today is a different type of episode.
Is it?
Not really. It's always rooted in some sort of grievance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Rooted in some sort of complaint.
A theme.
Yeah, it's who we are as a people. It's way more easy to be negative. Like, I can't imagine. I mean, I know we record and shit a lot, but you got to be positive over there on your other stuff, and I know that's way more work than over here.
Oh my God! You know how they tell you that it takes more. You know how they say it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Yes, but what they don't follow up with is that it is easier to frown than it is. So I catch myself frowning and be like, "Oh, you got to stop frowning. You're gonna end up with Bill Cosby forehead." So. Which I think is just gonna happen naturally, is who I am as a person.
That's why you got to get get you a little inoculations in the forehead.
It's gonna be me and Maya Rudolph out here not touching our faces.
You think she ain't touched her face?
Nah, Maya Rudolph. You see her little teeny crow's feet. You know what I'm saying? She's aging gracefully, but she's letting it age. She's just letting it rock. Even in HD, 1080p, all that. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask Melissa Beck because Melissa Beck be knowing.
She is the OG Dr. Zizmore analysis specialist. She knows the minute somebody has altered. I don't care if them niggas got something in the corner of their eyelid. Melissa Beck is gonna know what it is.
That's what I need to find out. So today we're talking about things.
I'm a text.
Well, explain, Jade.
Today we are talking about things. Oh, girl, I don't know. Essentially,
Today we're talking about things.
they are things that that people should not be offended about, but are, and alternately things people should be offended about, but aren't.
Let me tell you one thing that people should be offended by, or that something should be done about it in a matter of that it's critical, especially in the name of public health. People should be more offended by like kids playing on the floors at airports. Now, I understand that airports are a microcosm of everything that is awful in the universe. And so I know that the weight of the world is on you while you're walking to your gate. But you got to look after your little crumb snatchers and make sure that they're off of the floor. Because do you know how many types of cancers and things are coming up over that rug over at American Airlines?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Tetanus, COVID,
trichomoniasis, hepatitis A through J.
What's that shit called? Amoebic dysentery. All of the things we talk about with when you saw that child lick that train seat.
Oh yeah, I know they're not alive anymore.
I'm texting Melissa Beck.
And people should be offended by that because it's like, why aren't you doing things like in the interest of public health? You know that we need to keep things safe and sanitary and clean. Why would you allow your children play? And I know they're kids and they play on the floor, but no, it's the airport. These are different type of things. These are different set of rules and boundaries that you need to set with your child. And just like when you go to the store and you'd be like, don't ask me for nothing. Same thing, rules apply. Don't you sit on this damn floor.
On the other side of things, the reason why I get offended and you should not is because when your child, see, normally I would look at you and say, that ain't my fucking problem. Them ain't my kids. My kid's not doing all of that. But see, what you fail to realize is your little nasty petri dishes are rolling around in this shit and licking this shit. And then they go and they sneeze. And it goes out in the air and it stays there for an extended period of time. And we end up catching all the shit that you all put out there because you let your little nasty ass children roll around and poop.
Forget what you thought you knew about the right way to sneeze. Turns out the elbow sneeze releases many more germs than you may have thought. Les Trent says the smarter move is to sneeze into a tissue.
Fecal matter.
On the other side of things, I think it is absolutely dumb, but it happens more often than not. When I roll up on a nigga on the street and I roll my window down to try to get their attention and ask them if they are going to be leaving this parking space because you're sitting in your car. This could go either way. And they always give you that screwed up, stupid fucking look. Like, no. Like, I'm supposed to fucking know that you just got there. Nigga, I didn't see you pull into that shit. And it just baffles me that people get offended when you ask them if they're leaving a parking space.
Right now, a fight over a parking space ended in gunfire in Fort Lauderdale. A man was shot and rushed to the hospital. Local 10's Joseph Ojo is live at the scene with what he's learned. Joseph.
But then y'all get mad when you're parked next to something like when you're parked and there's like a hydrant free. and you know you're not staying, move next to the hydrant if you know I'm trying to park. Like, be courteous. I try to do courteous shit to people on the street. And I find that it's harder for people to go out of their way to be assholes, but that's what they do.
It's a power thing to prove a point.
What point, nigga? It's a moot point. What's your point? Just say you are not leaving the spot or you are.
Moot. Most points are moot. Like, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. We're all going to die.
All right, fair.
That went dark. But it's true. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter. Really, does it? No.
Okay. All right.
But I will tell you what does matter. What is very offensive to me is I hadn't experienced this since I left New York, but it happened, and I was like, "Oh, I'm back, Sophia, home now." I strongly dislike, and I strongly feel that this is offensive that a certain group of people, elderly, on the train, who force themselves into a seat next to you, or they'll sit on top of you, all because the guys, they see some sliver of seat, or they expect because it's like because they owe that they deserve to get a seat.
They do.
And
What was this episode about? The dumb shit people get offended about that they shouldn't. How you offended? Because this nigga's been living for 75 years. Give me my goddamn seat. Because I'm going to be a bitch on
and let me tell you
when
why.
I'm old.
No, and let me tell you why. Because I am not sitting in a space where there's no other, it's not like okay.
Yeah, let's watch how this
When
happens.
I was taking the train, and this happened where this old Asian man saw this sliver that was next to me and tried to sit in it. Now, mind you, there are open seats on the train throughout, so that's what pissed me off.
That's different.
But so therefore, you see this other seat that's literally across from there, and you have way more. And it was the old A train, and I get it. Maybe he didn't want to have that little old window seat, but he's petite enough to be comfortable in that seat. I am 6'9" and 400 pounds. So what are you doing, sir? So. He's like trying to do this, and I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, and I push him because I'm like, no, there's other seating available, and not just that seat. There's way other seats available. You just had tunnel vision because you feel as though that this is your seat close to the door. That has nothing to do with me.
Okay, that's different. If there's other seats available, that's like that old lady I told you where.
Even then, no, hold on, because here's my damn problem with this owed respect when it comes to seating. No. You know why? People be like, oh, you should give it to a pregnant woman. Yes, you should. You should give it to an old lady. Sure.
A bitch with kids. Yes.
I don't know if the kid should get it or the parents should get it. See, that's always where dicey in my head, right?
Well, the family should get it. They can determine who gets what.
No, I determine who gets what because it's my seat. Now, here's my thing, and my argument is always this. We don't know who they voted for.
This is also true. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I usually apply that to old black people.
No, and see, we are too old to be going off blind faith off and assume that there's goodness in everybody still. There's not. It has been proven time and time
No, it's
again
true.
that everybody
It's
has
true.
a dark side. Joseph Conrad told us about that in Heart of Darkness, that everybody's evil until proven motherfucking innocent. And people rarely have the opportunity to do so. So
White folks is cool till they
But-
get right on you.
yeah. But the thing is, like, again, how am I supposed to know what you voted for? Or
that's
what
fine.
if? And I don't.
Well, the thing about it
There's
is
other seats.
you don't really see old white ladies on the train like that. So I don't feel I mostly see old black ladies on the train.
And here's my thing with that. Yes. This old black woman pissed me off one time, right?
Oh, many
on the bus
times,
in the
but
Bronx.
yes. It's always
I
the
was
Bronx.
sitting with two of my clients who, for what it's worth, are disabled. Right. Regardless of how you describe it, they're disabled. They needed to sit the fuck down. This old lady come in, and I'm sitting with them because they have anxiety because we're on a fucking crowded bus in the Bronx, and they all live with mental illness. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to calm them down because I'm taking them on a housing interview. This old cantankerous black lady, and I know she was going to work because she was in nursing uniform. And she was like, you know how black people, they just talk at the air to be disrespectful and hoping somebody agrees with them. And she was like, look at them. They're all young and sitting down. They have no respect and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, and I let her stand there too. Because she stared dead at me, and I looked back at her. I was like, so you assume we're none of us are disabled? She said, well, you look, you have two legs. I was like, so do you. And so she stood there the whole ride. No, because
No. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Because I was standing up for my clients at that point.
Yeah.
And then
No. I'm thinking about black ladies talking to the air. 'Cause I had one of those moments this weekend.
you did.
Not that time. I didn't talk to the air then. I talked straight to that nigga's face. But y'all almost went to jail this weekend, and I promised myself I would never go to jail again. But I got taken to a place. I know a place. And this nigga's crying. That was whoa ha whoa ha whoa whoa ha whoa ha.
I'll take you there.
Whoa ha whoa ha whoa ha.
Whoa, ha, ha, ha.
We about to lose a listener. Girl, you can't do nothing but laugh. Join in on the fun. So anyway, no, I'm not talking about that nigga. And if you want to know who that nigga is, then you all gotta tune into the pre-show this week. But I had to go to an escape room for my homegirl's birthday on Sunday.
To start off your morning, listen up. So a burglar picked the wrong business to break into after getting trapped in one of the escape room games. So the man broke in through a back door at the business in Washington and then helped himself to a beer, some snacks, and some other things. But on his way out, he realized he didn't know how to escape the escape room, so he panicked.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I love Virgo season.
Yeah, I don't
Until,
I don't believe in escape rooms. That gives too much.
oh my God. Well, I played my role because Antoinette gave me the talk, in the words of Nana Susie. She gave me the talk before we went and was like, now listen here, bitch. When we get in this escape room, please act like you are remotely interested in being there.
She had to give you the parental
She
talk.
did. She was like, this is Angie's birthday. She was like, and I know how you feel about escape rooms, but you better act like you want to be there. I said, and Angie's pregnant. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I was like, this is my hermana. Let me, put on my team hat. So we get in the escape room, and a bitch is not good at clues. But I'll tell you one thing. I am the muscle. You wanted somebody to unlock them motherfucking locks in record timing? I was that girl. They were like, okay, they're shouting out the stuff for the clue. So I'm listening to the message. They're like, okay, so this is this. So if this is connected, then it has to be 7. I'm like, they were like, and this one has to be 4. That must be 8, 9, 7, 4, 8, 9. Blanc. This is it. They were like, oh, how'd you know that was the lock? I was like, I don't know, nigga, but this is my specialty. Breaking and entering. And that's how I showed my interest in the escape room this weekend. But before we went into the actual room, we're sitting in the lobby, and the way we're sitting. So when you have a wall, it's this is the corner, and you've got this wall and this wall. You got chairs against this wall. You got chairs against this wall. The trash can is right here. I'm on the chair here next to the trash on the very last seat. A group of young negresses comes into the place. And I have to remind myself, this is the shit you should be offended about. How come y'all are not raising your motherfucking kids these days? What's the problem? What's the problem? So this group of young negresses come in. And they drinking, they loud. Okay, I don't give a fuck about that. You with your homegirls, y'all are at an escape room. You're youthful. Be loud. But this young bitch comes and reaches over me. I told you how the seats are. I'm on the last seat next to the trash can. She's on this seat on the other side of me. Reaches over to put her big gulp cup in the trash can. All the way over me.
So literally like this.
Literally over me. She is here. The trash is here. I am here. So this is the night after the debacle. And so Antoinette, I'm sitting here, and at that moment, it just clicked to me. I said, 6 planets are retrograding right now. And, there's a lot going. And what I'm feeling is that maybe Spirit is trying to send me a lesson that I have to work on patience. I don't know what the test is here, but between last night and this little bitch reaching over me right now, I was like, I'm about to lose it. And I sat there, and she's reaching, and she puts the thing in the trash. And I just sat there. And Antoinette is looking at me, and I'm looking at Antoinette. And Antoinette's like, yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. And I said nothing. And she goes, wow. Wow. She's like, because that was egregious. I was like, I felt like it was a test from Spirit. And I certainly passed. But I had my old black lady moment right afterwards, because I looked at her and I said, I've grown as a person, right? And she's like, oh yeah, bitch, I know you have. And I was like, because that was motherfucking crazy. I was like, because I'm not sitting right here, am I? And it was like, I had to have a moment where I was like, I didn't react, but I want you to know that I wanted to, girl. And so sometimes it's necessary to talk to the air. That's my very long way of saying that. Yeah. Now,
it is, yeah. Talk to the air.
Now, another thing that people get offended about. See, this is one of those Larry David moments where, how he wants things to be convenient for him. So, whatever is inconvenient in that moment is the wrong thing. That is me.
Yeah, me.
So
this is all wrong.
This is wrong. Right now it's wrong. Then they changed the policy, but something has changed for me. And I'm like, this is wrong. Why did y'all do this? They're like, you asked us to. But when people are this really applies mostly to white people. When I get irritated, when I'm standing on a line and they come up and ask me, am I on the line? Now, I understand when we have obscure lineage, right? Like, I get it that sometimes we're in situations where I have to do it to people. Hey, are you, is this the line? Like, where's the end of the line? All right, bet. But see, when white people ask you, it's usually obvious that we're on a line. And they're asking you in a passive aggressive way because they don't want to wait on that line. So I will ask people, but likewise, I get offended, but only when white people ask me if I'm on a line.
What's going on over here? Shouldn't she be moving up?
Yeah.
Isn't that how a line works?
Yeah.
I don't like a big gap in the line. You want to feel like a line is moving.
You don't-
Otherwise, psychologically, it's bad.
Yeah.
All right? I'm languishing back here. Maybe I'll say something.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that makes sense, right?
To
Yes.
you, and that's okay.
No, you don't get, because you don't see how they be doing their little tricks. It's like when you're at breakfast and they yell out,
I get annoyed when
bacon,
people
egg,
just
and
talk
cheese
to
for
me in
Jade.
general.
And then a white lady comes up and she's like, is that my sandwich? And they ordered a everything bagel with sprouts. You know this is not your fucking sandwich. You just want this to be your sandwich.
That's like, okay, so we're at the airport, and I guess get it, not offended, but annoyed by like general stupidity. So like, we were at the airport, and there's two gates next to each other. One's going to San Francisco, and the other's going to New York. Mm-hmm. The boarding for both flights are around the same time. However, the lady for our flight explained, we're not ready to board. Mm-hmm. And there's big ass time that says boarding time 12:15, you know, and she tells us it's going to be delayed by like 20 minutes because they're cleaning the plane or whatever. Mm-hmm. So clearly by 12:45, 1 o'clock is when we should be boarding.
Right.
And it says delayed, and it says on the big blue screen, shout out to JetBlue, fabulous company.
Oh, yeah, love them.
Would love to work with you.
Yeah.
Stop, call us.
Yeah. I got mad True Blue points.
Right. And was like, you know, the lady was just being honest, like, you know, listen, getting clean, this is the new time we're boarding. So over here, the young lady is calling out, you know, now we're ready to board, flight San Francisco. Why are all these people who are on our flight getting the queue or the line to board? And they're like, well, we just heard flight. Did you not? Miss made it very clear several times. And like, and I'm looking at people making the same mistake as going up line. Like, I'm sitting right next to you, and I know we heard the exact same message.
Absolutely.
And we were sitting close to the podium, so it's not like it was over the thing. Like, yes, we
And you
heard it
couldn't
over the mic,
understand.
but we heard her just talking.
Right.
So you're just being stupid and honored because you think that you're going to get a different response.
That irritates the fuck out of me.
That irritates me so much, just in customer service in general, when people try to go above people because they think they're going to get a different response, and it's going to be the same response over and over. I used to hate that when I worked in corporate.
Because it ain't no different than kids going to two different parents. Because they want you are a child right now when you do that. See, this is why God didn't put me in customer service.
Yeah, like I fucking hate that shit. But yeah, and it kept happening. So like the terminal kept filling up, and so the black girl was like, "Hey, didn't I tell y'all to go sit the fuck down?" She was like, "We won't move," because she had to like let them know, we won't board unless you all clear. So she was like, "I'll wait." And at first, everybody was like, "Oh," but then it was like, yo, y'all have to move because there's hella people with wheelchairs and kids that have to walk through this shit, and people who have not got off the fucking plane that got here in the first place. Because you know what also offends me and pisses me off? When people don't wait for others to get off the train car before you come in.
That elevators, train cars, escalators, and when they jump up on the fucking plane, and you are in the seat in front of me, and you got half of your ass in this fucking aisle as soon as this shit lands. Because you think that for whatever, you're in the seat behind me. You think that because you feel like you need to get off this plane right now that you are entitled to go. And when I tell you, I Medea my ass in the middle of I wave my ass in the middle of that fucking aisle before you are not walking past me. Wait. motherfucker.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
We'll be back with more Jaded XD. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I know you came here to have better thoughts, not no thoughts, right? But wouldn't it be nice to just shut them off on demand in a way that creates just complete being? Just perfect wellness.
And we're black. We are talking about, well, usually what we do is
Remixing more ways to be hateful. And ornery, cantankerous, and mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm offended by? Atlanta's TSA system. Because for y'all to be one of the biggest fucking airports in the country, the most giant ones in the world, then, okay? I don't be liking to assume with America in the world.
That motherfucker is big.
It's big as shit. Okay.
I had to take 2 different planes when I got to Atlanta once, and I had to take like this big shuttle thing because it was way too big to walk.
Oh, you talking?
The
little train. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that goes through all the terminals. Oh yes.
Well, yeah, I ended up taking a one of those cart thingies, you know, where they be driving around the folk.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That goes all the way through their airports?
No, we had to go outside.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, how does that work? Okay.
Because I was about to miss a flight, and I missed it anyway. It's the last time I went home for Thanksgiving. Yeah.
The train in Atlanta is where I became friends with Arnest J. But anyway, long story, long time ago. So
okay.
We get to Atlanta. I know, very random. But I was like really cool with Arnest J for a period of time. And I would be at my home group. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was just a good time. We just have a nigga ass time. So I get to Atlanta's airport. We get there because our flight for Jamaica was at like 5:15 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we get there. We want to make sure it's international, so we have enough time. Check the bags, this, that, and the third. And we got to sign Tristan up for pre-check. He doesn't have pre-check yet. So I go over to the pre-check clear line, and he goes over to the general.
Do they do that? Do they give you clear access right then and there if you sign up?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or do you have to wait?
No, you get clear access immediately when you sign up. It's the pre-check that's the process. So, so he goes over to the general boarding for security, and we're like, we'll just meet on the other side or whatever. Nigga, he calls me. He's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make this flight. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, the line is just not moving. And I get over to because I have to walk further than him to go over to the clear and pre-check. And those lines are not moving either. And I never have an issue. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Come to find out, TSA don't open at their airport till like 4:30.
Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport is getting some upgrades, and it might help you get through security quicker. When all is finished, that is, the airport plans to replace its existing security scanners with CT scanners like the ones they have at the South Checkpoint. These will have automatic bin return, which airport...
Oh, yeah.
So then, on top of them not open until 4:30, he's in this long-ass fucking line because... It's mad people on it waiting to get on early flights. Why don't you all set up a system at one of the largest airports in the world, apparently, to have 24-hour TSA. You got people who work overnight, you got to pay them a little bit extra. You got to pay them time and a half or whatever it is for people to work overnight shifts. But if you know, then why book flights at 5? Why do you have flights at 5:15 in the morning if TSA don't open till 4:30? Shit is nuts. And he just barely made it through, which that should not be the case. And what about all the people behind him who might have also had 5:15 flights? It's a terrible system.
Yeah, I want to say that's across the gamut because I used to take early flights and I used to have to wait.
That's dumb.
Or if I did, there was only one thing. It was super slow. But
that's counterproductive because then you fucking up the airlines because then people got to rebook people and do this, that, and the third. Like it's not an efficient system.
Yeah. Because I remember one time I came early and the shit wasn't open, like 4 or 3 something.
Yep.
Because my flight was at 5 in the morning. Because that's when I used to fly standby all the time. And so, yeah, I remember there and the shit wasn't open. Yeah.
It's
And
offensive.
I feel like that was JFK too.
Oh, yes. And that's a terrible place to be. Before they did renovations and shit where you don't, or was it I didn't like JFK or LaGuardia. LaGuardia was worse.
LaGuardia now looks great.
No, LaGuardia is great now. LaGuardia is beautiful.
When we moved to LA, we flew out of LaGuardia and I was like, this is fabulous.
I couldn't believe they did all of that with LaGuardia. But JFK, I mean, was not the best either.
No, they need to redo JFK. JFK look like Rikers, low-key.
And they're all a nightmare to get to. And then they've made it even harder for you to get home because I found me a loophole where I used to, when I would leave, when I would come back home, I would go over to the what's the shit called? I'd go over to the hotel that's attached to it or whatever. And that's where I would get my the TWA. Thank you. I kept trying to say TSA, TWA hotel, and I would go over there and I would catch a cab from the TWA, and that was my little loophole for me to get home and avoid like all of the airport traffic. They've caught on to that, so now they don't even allow cabs to pick you up at the TWA airport. You have to go to the cab station. Or you have to go to do the whole Uber situation, which when you're coming back at 10:30 and 11 o'clock at night, that shit is the worst.
So here's the thing. So here's what you do at JFK. I'm gonna put you on. Because I'm also about to tell you how to get in and out of LAX very quickly. So what you have to do. Also, do you know it was $200 Uber ride from downtown Manhattan to JFK?
What?
In a regular, coloreds only Uber. It was $177.10.
Wow.
But anywho, so at JFK is what to answer your question or your problem. You take your Uber to you go to like Avis or Budget where the rental car places are, and you get your Ubers from there.
Pause. Maya Rudolph does not do anything to her face.
Okay.
It's been confirmed.
Good for her. Good for her.
Yes.
But yeah, catch your Ubers and stuff over by the Avis and over in Federal Circle. That's how you do it.
But then I gotta
JFK.
walk over to the fucking rental car shit.
Well, you take the air train or whatever you still gotta take the air train, but it's faster. To the rental car. It's just that's the fastest way because otherwise you're gonna have to pay an arm and a leg for them to pick you up at the gate or the terminal, whatever.
Okay.
So, but for LA though,
yeah, tell me.
Let me put you on 10 on 20. You may not like this, but it is the easiest and cheapest way to get to and fro LAX. So LAX just introduced this thing called the Flyaway service. And it is a coach bus, fabulous, comfortable coach bus that takes you directly to either downtown Los Angeles, directly, or Van Nuys, which is in the valley,
Okay.
for only $10. The reason why I say to do it is because the coach bus is able to ride in the HOV lane.
And it goes
So
faster.
therefore, there's no real traffic to go when you're going up the 10 and the 5 to where you ever need to be.
Okay.
So do you know I made it home from LAX to where I live in LA in 30 minutes?
Word.
At 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday?
At least it was a Sunday.
Well, no, that means it's awful. LA traffic is hell on wheels. But yeah, it was a weekend traffic. It was so easy. And then they have a weird ticketing system. So I didn't have to pay that. I just got on and got off.
Back of the bus. Back of the bus.
So yes, I had to pay a shit ton for New York, but that's when, I forgot, whatever.
You backdoored them. Backdoor. Backdoor. Backdoor.
Did. But I'm just saying, even if you want to stay in the valley or whatever, and you still book your trip to LAX as opposed to Burbank, at least you can easily get to this place, to at least the valley, and get an Uber and figure it out from there.
I've never stayed in the valley when I've come to LA. Do we even go to the valley for anything?
When we met with Mike.
Oh, that was the valley?
We went to North Hollywood. Yeah, we went to North Hollywood. And we part of the San Fernando Valley, yeah.
Hello?
Do you know what time it is?
Watch doesn't really go with this outfit, Daddy.
Where are you?
I'm just having a snack with my girlfriends.
Where, in Kuwait?
Is that in the valley?
Anything once you go over the mountains, it's over there.
They be acting like the valley is just like mad deep. That don't feel like that.
No, it's not far. Like 32 an hour. Like it's just the traffic that makes things far.
Okay.
It's like New York.
Right, and that's
Like,
another thing.
Harlem.
People keep talking about the traffic in LA, but it doesn't feel crazy to me because, nigga, have you ever been stuck on the FDR at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because of construction.
It's awful. Hell, even when we were in traffic in Brooklyn on Saturday, I was like, this is wild. This is just Myrtle Avenue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
This is just Myrtle on a Saturday. That's wild, bro. It's a surface street just to get on the bridge,
Yeah.
It's so fucking wild. But yeah, take the flyaway shuttle next time. It's super easy. It makes your Ubers cheaper for where you need to get off and go. Yeah. Way, way easier. I was like, okay, life hack, go me.
Okay. All right. Well, I will consider that. I like the privacy of my own car, but LA has also made it extremely difficult to get to and from your Ubers. You gotta walk down that long ass fucking sidewalk to that parking lot.
Oh no, you can't now. You got it. You have to. It's easier. They have a shuttle now that takes you because now they have construction that blocks you from walking over there.
Well, so good, because I didn't like walking it anyway.
Yeah, so like I was going to take an Uber home. This is how it all happened. I was going to take an Uber home, but I don't know if there's some like tech convention in LA or whatever, but you could tell it was a whole bunch of software engineers waiting to get to this shuttle to get to their Ubers or whatever. Like, and each terminal has a different like wait for the LA exit bus to take you over there. When I tell you, it was like 200 deep at my terminal, and I was like, well, girls, I'm never getting home. So let me figure out this alternative. Because I was already overspending $900 on, fucking Ubers and shit.
$200.
But,
that's crazy.
Right. So, yeah. But that's how I learned and shit. And I was like, well,
another
how to
thing
get around LA now
that people get offended about, which is so dumb. Religion. Who cares?
I was going to say animals dressed as humans, but that is important. But yes, okay.
There's you. They get offended because you don't want to be what they are. And it's fascinating that people care that much to mind somebody else's business.
Well, religion is rooted in, superiority complexes.
Power.
And power structures and dynamics. So
Ego.
when people, drink the Kool-Aid, they tend to prescribe to that type of idea of power, and we think we're better than you are because we believe X, Y, and Z.
And they scoff at people who it is because they scoff at people who claim to be spiritual but not religious. Like, how can you be that? And it's just fascinating how offended they get that you just do not want to subscribe to the same ideology that they do. We can't just coexist. We can't just be here, or you got to be mad about it. It's like you being mad because I keep my ketchup in the fridge or I don't. That's dumb.
People, I don't know if it's just human nature to have this idea of hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like people need this, and people in general need this feeling of power, feeling better than something, than the status quo.
Yep.
To make them feel better about themselves. See, that's what I said. Everybody's evil. That's what Joseph Conrad talked about. That's a facet of evil.
My grandfather said everybody's
Comparing
sick.
yourself to evil.
He said the whole world is a hospital and everybody in it is sick.
The world is a vampire sent to drain.
That's his favorite expression.
I don't know. You can't say that to gay people, so I'm not gonna.
Not okay, unwell. Unwell mentally. Everybody, he says. Not physically sick. He said the whole world. You are determined.
Listen, I'm just saying, as a gay person, stigma when niggas say sick.
No.
I'm
he
just
says
saying.
everybody in this world is unwell.
And speaking of black gay stuff, we didn't even shout out. We were on Dr. John Paul
Oh my God!
And Jordan's podcast,
Black Fat Femme. Yes, it was a good time.
Yes, we're on there this week. Go listen now. We ruined their podcast by talking about absolutely nothing.
And also, they have more white listeners than we have. And we may or may not have gone in. And or addressed them directly. Poor Jordan. Yeah. I questioned their ethnicity. Jordan said nigga, and I said, wait a minute.
And Jade asked honestly, she was like, they said nigga, and Jade was like, I have a question.
Before we proceed.
Now, are you black? And of course, Jordan was like, of course, yes. He talked about being black and Jewish and all that. And we're like, okay.
Okay.
I just don't know.
I said, Mama has to ask questions for the answers that she needs to hear in order for us to proceed in this conversation.
Yeah.
That's all.
And of course, Dr. John wouldn't allow that anyway.
No, never. But it was just in the moment, I was taken aback for just a second. Then I felt bad, like, damn, I questioned
I felt the same
your
way.
ethnicity. Nigga. I know, because as soon as I asked, XD was like, because I was wondering.
I know the show is Black, Fat, and Femme, but
I know, which that should have been my clue. But
it was an earnest and honest question because you know how I feel about people using black.
And also that Instagram account that you put me on to, niggas what? Niggas need hugs. What's it called?
Every nigga deserves.
Every nigga deserves. XD is certain it was written by the ops.
Listen, all of these planets have showed me, have uncovered all these truths. Remember, like I told you, I told Asante on the Unpretty TLC video. She didn't want to be skinny. She wanted to be white.
She wanted to be white. You did say that. And I had to go back and look at the video and say, "Oh my God." Oh
the
my
bluest eye
God.
complex.
She wanted to be white, so you want to be white. Yeah.
Exactly. But anywho, Black Fat Femme, we're on there this week.
And you know, a white
over
person
on
came up
iHeart.
with BET Uncut.
Just like a white person came up with Pootie Tang and the Chappelle Show.
I actually made that portion up, but yours is factual. It's owned by
It's time to
Viacom.
go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We have a bunch of shit on Patreon for you to enjoy this week.
Oh, baby.
As
Yes.
well as on YouTube. We back in full effect.
Yes, we are working.
Yeah.
Planning
So,
things for the future. We got stuff coming up. In the meantime, yes, we got Life After Lockup. We got White Roots. We got recaps. We got live watches over on the Patreon, $9.99 a month. If your pockets are a little tight right now, check out that YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. That also supports us in many ways.
And hit that notification bell too. That definitely helps.
Yes, and it will ding ding because niggas be working.
Yes.
Once again, I'd like to close out this episode by saying fuck y'all for real. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my feet.
You are. No, you don't. You love our listeners.
I don't mean that at all. We love you all for listening every single week, and we'll see you next week.
Adios, muchachos, muchachas, and muchachin.
Well, haha.
Yes, we're moving.